And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of the 8th annual Hangover 200 under the Bomb Squad Racing League banner. Happy New Year, everybody. Seth Cole alongside of Jessica Shelton here tonight to bring you this exhibition race to kick off 2024. And Jess, here this evening, no points on the line, no championship hanging in the balance. It's just go out there, have some bragging rights, and start the year off right with a checkered flag.
Yeah, let me put it out this way. We're only a couple months away from Daytona 500, so
Right.
NASCAR season getting really ramped up and race season starting to come up. You know these people want to get out there and start going crazy with it.
Looks like we got about 25 drivers by my last count that are going to be taking the green flag here this evening. The thing you and I were talking a lot about here before we came on the air, most races that we have here on FRN, there's one fixed setup for everybody. But here tonight, super speedway racing with open setup. You and I have been in open setup races before. A lot of different things that drivers can change, not only at the beginning of this race, but during the course of this race. 76 laps to make adjustments as well.
Yeah, and the one thing we always got to think about that we didn't even touch on between us was if you get damaged during this race, sometimes moderate damage is what they're going to be using. That could be a blessing in disguise, or it could be a real killer in disguise, because sometimes it just lets you off with a little, okay, you don't have nothing, don't worry, you hit the wall, but it's not going to show up. But then you hit the wall very lightly again, it's going to show up. And when that happens, you got to mess with that setup, and that setup may not like what you do to it. And then obviously the grill tape set, that grill tape's going to come in big toward the end if they have those last 2 or 3 lap shootouts.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a whole bunch of different things when you put it into the open setup spectrum that you don't really think about. You mentioned about grill tape. Another thing I was actually noticing, and it just dawned on me when I saw it happen, I was watching these drivers make green flag pit stops. I think it was Tyler Mallon ended up having the car spin out on him, the brake bias. That's something that you're able to adjust on your car if we have green flag pit stops. So minute details that we normally don't think about when we see super speedway racing are going to count here tonight. And in-game cautions, but we've seen at super speedways before where a wreck takes place, when a wreck takes place, you're not necessarily going to get a guaranteed yellow to catch back up.
Absolutely. I mean, we also got that issue of spins or something off the actual track. I mean, Things can happen on the backstretch in the middle of a race that go on the apron area, and sometimes they'll slide back up on track, but if there's no traffic oncoming, that yellow's not going to come out, and you're not going to catch a break.
Get a black flag on pit road, you may end up having your race thrown away at that point. So all sorts of different things you have to think about here in this one. I mentioned about the fact that this is an exhibition race, though, with no points on the line. So would a driver feel the same amount of pressure in this type of a race, especially in the fact that you have to execute perfectly? Or is there a little bit of alleviation and the driver's just out there having some fun, maybe doing a little bit of experimentation? If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, well, I mean, you didn't lose a championship with a bad move.
Yeah, that's how I would approach it, like that, in my opinion, that they're just going out there, have fun, enjoy themselves. And it being an open setup race, this gives them time to figure out this is a setup that they actually want to use, if they could work on it and adjust it for their series. Because we were talking to Jobin Anderson, and he said that this league is about to start up with their season. So with that being said, this is a perfect opportunity for them to fine-tune their setups coming in for the new season.
Great point. I mean, Talladega, I'm pretty sure, would probably be on their Cup Series schedule. Daytona, maybe be able to use some of the things from a Talladega setup for that. So yeah, perfect opportunity to be able to do some experimentation. Julian Wilson, KJ, Kilojoules, he's going to be in the field here tonight. He's in our YouTube chat.
We got to.
He's in the YouTube chat. He says he's got the vodka. He's ready to go. So
No. Julian, not only do you got the vodka ready to go, the stuff that I were talking about earlier, we are going to look at that car. Look at that car. He's going in the corner right now.
We got a few cars we're going to be featuring here tonight.
Yeah, I love that back bumper of his car.
There's that 029 kilojoules. And we're going to
showcase that bumper.
We're going to showcase, well, actually, we'll showcase, I guess, during the race, because they're gridding up. We're going to give the starting lineup here in just a moment. DJ Champ capturing the pole position there, and that number 91 Mopar Dodge. I can't tell from here. I think that's a Dodge. Is that an Avenger? Or is that like, it looks like one of the newer
Let me.
Dodges
For who?
for the pole sitter. I think that's one of the newer Dodges, right? Like maybe a Dodge Viper or
I
something?
did not get his scheme, so basically it just shows up as a
Let's
Toyota.
see. Let's see if we can see the front of it here. Oh, it's a Charger. It's one of the newer Chargers. Okay. And he's going to be alongside of Ricky J in the 93.
No surprises there with that number.
Absolutely. I think he formerly was the 193 over here in the Bomb Squad
Still doesn't matter. He's
Racing
got a
League.
9.3 there somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Always a 9-3 somewhere. Ricky J, I believe, is in a Ford. So you got a Dodge and a Ford on the front row as they roll off of pit roads. Here's the rest of the starting lineup. You're going to have the Toyota of Jeff Goodpaster up in the 3rd position. The Chevrolet Camaro of Silver Bullet there, the number 4 in 4th. How about this? You got the 4 in 4th, and then Zach Rogers in the 5 in 5th. So, yeah, this isn't scripted at
Totally
all.
not rigged, right?
No, not at all. Now, there is not a 6 and 6. That's actually the 83 of BSR Scar. 7th place will be Denny Carroll. Tyler Mallon will be up on the outside of row 4. I might be wrong, but I believe he is the defending Cup Series champion here in the Bomb Squad Racing League. Top 10 going to be completed with Bob Sire on the inside and the Bandit, Robbie Nisus, on the outside. Kilojoules, we showed, we're going to be showing, we showed a little bit of his 029 there before they gridded up. He'll be on the inside of row number 6 alongside of BSR Eli. Then it'll be Greg Lovell and BSR Furco. They'll be in row 7. Keith McLean, BSR Mech Daddy. He's going to be on the inside of row number 8 alongside of Buckshot Kelly Causey. Joshua Clemens, he'll be sharing row number 9 with BSR Brain Fade. Andrew Miller, he's going to be on the inside of row number 10. He'll be joined by Monty Keller. BSR Nelly is going to be in row 11. He'll be joined by Brian Voiles in the 68. Liam Tingley's going to share row number 12 with BSR Magoo. And then Aussie Bill is going to bring up the rear of this 25-car field. A lot of cars in the field here, and with open setup, a lot of different variables, probably some different grill tape, going to be some different generation of runs, and more than likely some different alliances here tonight as well. You got to think there was maybe a little bit of passing on of setups from one driver to another to be able to have some allies for this race. They may not have all qualified together, so some drivers might have some work to do to get up and work with the driver they planned to be aligned with for most of this race.
Will be a lot of strategy, but hey, it's a long race. We're normally doing about 60-some laps, but this one's a 76er, and guess what, Seth? It's about time to pull them tight again.
It's time to get 2024 started here for Bomb Squad Racing League. The 8th annual Hangover 200 is green at Talladega. Good jump there for Ricky J on the outside line, but little space between him and Silver Bullet. That inside line, they might get a better run here through 1 and 2.
And that's something we haven't even discussed either is we've seen it in other leagues about not just tracks, but the mods and whatnot. We don't even know if the setup is going to be more preferred to the high side or the bottom on
That's
this
right.
one.
I mean, one thing that we have to point out here is a lot of the Super Speedway Series racing that we see here on FRN is what's called CTS physics, the truck physics. This is the cup physics, so slightly different animal with the cars as well. So, yeah, to your point, not exactly sure what to expect. We'll probably figure it out by the end of this race, but at least for right now, a couple of question marks.
I got a little bit of shuffling, wanting to run up a little bit higher, wanting to run a little lower, but they're still managing themselves pretty good, I assume, in my mind. I mean, we complete one good lap under green, and BSR DJ leads the first lap of this event.
Yes, he does, by about half a car length there over that inside line. Jeff Goodpaster in the Monster Energy Snickers Toyota Camry. He's going to edge ahead here off of turn 2, though. Let's see if that outside line gets the run down the back straightaway.
25,
Whoa,
25
Liam
lead
Tingley.
back here.
And I don't think
He's
the
just
yellow's
along.
out. I think we're still
Nope.
green.
No, looked like he got off that corner and just,
And he's got a flat left front. You can see that. The Acer Chevrolet. Pretty good donut there on the left side of that machine as well. No
I saw
caution.
I saw someone step out of line way up in the front area, and that's where my attention was, and I was all of a sudden on the 25. I was like way in the back, like, wow.
I saw
mean,
Tyler Mallon down towards the very bottom of the racetrack towards the apron. I don't know if there was contact with him and Tingley or if he was just avoiding.
I'll go back and look real quick for you.
All right. we got a chance here, we may end up going back and looking here on the broadcast as well. We're going to stay here live,
Oh
though,
my gosh!
just in case
I
something
was on
breaks
a
out.
I was riding with the 25 a moment ago. He's currently coming into pit road, and he had that car locked up. So that brake, oh my gosh! You said he's got at least one tire down,
Yeah, it
right?
looked like his left front was down. So trying to limp that thing onto pit road, a side-by-side here for the lead. Well, it was for the lead. And then that
No,
outside line got a huge run through the center of 3 and 4.
it looked like off of turn two, Liam just kind of pushed up a little bit, and he didn't make contact with anyone. It just he had someone on his outside. He had plenty of room, but he started drifting up, and he quickly turned it to the left. I'm guessing he was assuming he was going to go toward that issue to make contact, but instead he turned it really hard to the left so he wouldn't, and it just overcorrected the car.
No contact with anybody?
Nope.
I'm wondering where that donut on the left side came from then.
Well, he hit the inside wall, remember?
Oh. The damage model
Uh,
gives you a donut on the left side if you hit the wall?
the donut?
I guess, because he had a
I
donut
mean,
on the...
he might have made contact earlier on, but I was just looking
Could've.
at the incident off of two.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've had this mod
Yeah, no kidding.
broadcasted. I mean, this for folks that are wondering, there were different mods that came out. This was the original of what was known as the Gen 6. There was then the BR13 and the BR15. I believe the BR15's been featured here on FRN, but
Yeah.
it's been a while since the original Gen 6 mod was featured here, if at all. So, yeah, this is a throwback for us even.
Gen 6 is one of the old favorites of ours, but don't really use it anymore.
Nope, it's a bit obsolete as of right now. How about that run there, almost for the lead by the Bandit? Robbie Nisus almost had a challenge for DJ Champ. He's been working his way up here. He started the race from, I believe, 10th position and has gained, well, 7 going on 8 spots here since the green dropped.
I rode again with Tingley from the start of the green flag all the way. There was no contact on his left side. The only contact he made was with that inside wall after he got loose off of two.
So, relearning the damage model here for the Gen 6 as well, I guess. Little contact with the wall, and it shows damage as if a donut on the side of the race car. Good to know.
You said something with Malin? You saw Malin way down there at one point?
Well, I think he was trying to avoid. I didn't know if he was involved, but I saw him like down in the yellow line as if he was avoiding the spinning race car. A couple of other cars were down there too. I think Keith McLean was avoiding, but didn't see anybody else look like they had actually made contact or got involved with the 25's mess, which, by the way, Tingley has returned to the track. He is 1 lap down right now. I would assume that these drivers that this series has the lucky dog rule, so if a caution were to come out, he would probably get the free pass and be back on the lead lap.
Based on what I saw from Tyler just pulled down and let a few people go by from what I was gathering on that.
Man, look at this at the front. Squeeze job there up the middle by Ricky J. He almost didn't have enough space with DJ Champ to the outside. And
they're going 3 wide behind him, too.
Oh, my gosh. That's Silver Bullet following him through. BSR Eli. He's got tucked back in line there behind DJ Champ.
Burko's on the high side of Kelly Causey here. He's going to dart right back in
Out.
line.
What's that old saying? You can't win the race on lap 1, but you can sure lose it. Couple of drivers were close right there.
Look at that inside line where Rogers is.
Yeah, they're staying pretty well there on that inside line. It still looks like the outside line has a slight advantage on the straightaways. That makes sense in the fact that you don't have to breathe the throttle nearly as much. There's not as much checkup because it's a longer way around the racetrack. But the inside line's holding pretty well. They've not drifted any further back than side by side for third. Ooh, yeah. Man, Eli there looked way out of shape.
I do want to point out some of the favorites that, a lot of people have, like Julian, Greg Lavelle, and Tyler Mallon. They're way back here, like, hanging on the outside edge of the draft. I mean, they still have some draft, don't get me wrong, but they're hanging on the outside edge. It's making me wonder what's going on with them.
Maybe saving a little bit of fuel here. Also noticed that Brian Voiles back there, one of the favorites coming in. Keith McLean in the 28. Also very good at these super speedway races, but none of them, to your point, up here inside of the top 15, just kind of hanging out for the time being.
Waiting for the disasters to happen and they can get through it. Maybe that's their strategy.
You talked about it, and most of the races we've seen here at Talladega are 66 laps. Add another 10 laps on here tonight.
Talladega 66.
Oh, yeah. But, that extra 10 laps could be very important here, and even just one extra lap of fuel saved on a green flag run
What
could be a difference maker late in this race.
what do we normally do at Daytona? Do you know?
At Daytona?
It's like 50 something. Don't we usually like do 4? No, it's 48, isn't it?
I
That we normally do.
think
Like
so,
40.
yeah.
Greg hit that apron and he drifted up pretty good. He had to burp the throttle just to get behind Magoo.
The blue oval, the Ford Mustang of Ricky J out in front. He'll lead his 5th lap of the evening.
And now we gotta also think about this. These guys are starting to get into a little bit of a run. They're experimenting with this bottom, this middle, trying to sort themselves out. And I'm just wondering how hectic it's going to be by the time we get ready to pit and everyone wants to start moving down to that bottom, giving each other room, trying to get ready for the pit stops. I mean, that's going to be something we got to think about too. As we see Rogers has fallen to the back, and don't know if he got shuffled out or if he decided, I don't like where I am, I'm just going to the back.
Yeah, he's drifting back in that DuPont Chevrolet. We ended up getting a little bit of a backstory from him on that car. We normally don't see him in a 5, let alone in a Jeff Gordon paint scheme, but you were having a little conversation with him earlier. We found out that he formerly was a Gordon fan, something we never knew. We've raced with Rogers for many years, but you learn something new every day, and apparently we learned something new in Zach Rogers land.
Yeah, we never knew that. Usually it's always a 6 or some type of a 9 for Zach Rogers, and at the same time, we never expect him to run this type of a scheme, and found out that he had Cody Lamas design this for him, and it looks good out there.
Got some people in our chat here tonight. Got a question from RJ Cabana. Is this open to anywhere? Do you need to be part of BSR? If you go onto Facebook and look up Bomb Squad Racing League, you can find their page and request to join. They'll set you up, and you can run in during the Cup Series that's going to be starting up, as we understood from our friend Jovan Anderson, Ricky J.
They're starting up pretty soon. Liam.
That's a tough break there for Liam. He was hoping for a caution to come out so that way he could get back on the lead lap. Now, if a caution came out, he would only get 1 of 2 laps back. Would have to rely on another yellow flag via a lucky dog.
And just to be clear, stranger things have happened and luck has turned, and we've seen random things happen like that before.
And it's a long race, so more of a chance as well with that extra 10 laps. One driver I was noticing, I was kind of looking, I know that obviously at a super speedway it's a lot easier if you've got the right drafting partner and a fast enough car to pick up a lot of spots from the start to the finish. But the 19 looks really good there. BSR Furco, he rolled off the outside of row 7 in 14th place. He's been pretty committed to the back of BSR Eli, running in that 6th position. Looking pretty good right now there in that Dodge. Keep an eye on him. If he's able to get himself some space, we could see him maybe get up to the front. I think I saw a car blink for a brief moment back there. Might have been brain fade in the 49, but
whoa, that's Liam again off of 2.
And he saves it.
Oh, he almost got into the quarter panel of Julian. That just scared the heck out of me on that one.
Boy, from those skid marks, looked like that thing might have been almost 45 degrees around. How he was able to correct that thing back and keep going, I'm not sure.
All I'm going to say is I don't mean to jump to conclusions, but if I had to guess, he has that car really, really loose for speed. And he went up there, he chased it up. He was really close to Julian, about to make contact with that quarter panel, and he just turned it to the left. So even though Liam did get involved in the self-spin there, props and hats off to him for actually being aware of what he had to do not to cause someone else to have an issue. So good job for him.
One thing that I didn't actually look at, and I kind of wish I had now, I know at some super speedways they allow you to adjust it. I know that other ones they keep it at a constant. I wonder if they were able to adjust the spoiler.
Oh gosh, I really don't know.
I know there's some super speedways where I've in open setup races I've gone to adjust the spoiler and it's stuck at usually a default and you can't adjust that. I don't know if this is a track where they would have been able to adjust that or not.
I think you can only do that pre-race.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I mean even then, sometimes even pre-race they don't allow you to adjust the spoiler. I don't know. Maybe this is one where they were able to, because that would certainly seem to be something that might be too low if the spoiler is adjustable, having him have that loose sensation off him too.
Someone's really loose back here. someone almost made contact with someone else, and I think that was Greg Lovell almost making contact with BSR Nelly off of turn 2 back there. It seems like turn 2 is a wild spot with them pushing up and turning hard to the left to not make contact, from what I'm getting at, based on Liam and what I just saw from Greg.
Well, Jesse, you talked about it. Watch for the drivers to migrate to the inside in preparation for pit stops. 93, the 4th, they've gone down to the bottom. The 114, the 19 have made their way down to the yellow line. We were told that around maybe lap 18, if this thing went green from the start, would be when drivers would consider coming to pit road. We're right about there, about 2 laps away.
Yeah, and also a lot of people are going to be checking up in front of each other as well when they get ready to pit, so they got to be aware of their surroundings at that point, with people behind them and beside them, because we've seen it before with people coming on pit road. They don't signal correctly, or they're too late letting someone know, and they're not paying attention, and bam.
And very rarely, if we see an incident coming onto pit road, very rarely we see a caution come out. Sometimes cars will spin back up onto the racetrack, but a lot of times it's basically cloistered onto the pit lane area. We talked about drivers and execution all race long. When it comes to pit road, sometimes you're at the mercy of other drivers executing correctly as well.
Yeah, when they're coming off and you're trying to come in, or they're coming off and you got side-by-side on pit road coming out, it gets really hectic. And if one person just spins or slows up and gets sideways or something, it blocks up that whole lane, and you lose so much time, and then you just gotta hope and pray for a caution.
I think I'm seeing some radios lighting up potentially here. We might have some pitters this lap. Let's see if the leader might be one of them.
Are you going to be on track and me on pit road? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, we're going to stay here with yeah, we're going to go to pit road because we got some coming in.
Someone hit the wall. Don't know who it was coming over.
Oh, that's, I believe. Is that Nelly coming up the track there, the 103? Yep.
I thought that was Rogers. Okay, Rogers did not.
Eli's in the grass. Nelly's rolling up there on the racetrack.
I think that was DJ I saw.
I think Nelly may have blown a right front. That car looks like it might be beached in the grass.
Liam's coming in with them as well. And forgive me, I said Rogers. I meant to say DJ. I couldn't see because of that back end being so red on my end. That's my fault for not dialing the car in time.
Pretty sure Eli had to call a tow. So that's going to cost him some valuable time. Maybe a blessing in disguise that he's behind his pit stall, so it won't be nearly as long a tow. Here comes the leader.
Yeah. And someone's...
Oh, gosh! Good pastor. Sliding into Rogers. He gets brain fade.
Rogers.
This is going to bring out a yellow, I think.
Dude, there's a wreck here with Tyler Malin. Malin's in it.
We're still green.
And there's more of a wreck on pit road.
Oh, my gosh. Yep. Malin, McLean. Is that our former race leader, Ricky J, there? Yeah, he was in it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Correction. That was Voiles. Similar paint scheme. Both of them sponsored by Voiles Trucking. Denny Carroll slow in the grass.
Oh, my.
Top of your screen is Bob Sire. He's in the grass there, slow moving. Wow. And no caution. I was looking to see the lights there through the tri-oval. No yellow flag for all this mayhem going on in this round.
Julian is, I'm guessing he's out of gas. He's on the 8th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yep. Might have missed pit road.
He's the leader. He is labeled as the leader here.
Where is he? Is he over in 1 and 2?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh, he's increasing speed now. I think he's trying to save to get back. Yeah, he's coming out of 2. Oh, man. He might not make it back around. He's trying.
You want to look at his back bumper while we got time?
Yeah, we'll take a look at his back bumper here. Licking doorknobs is illegal on other plates. Yeah, you hear him right there. He's clutching. He's trying to make it back around. He might be able to, but boy, he's going to lose a ton of time.
Yeah, the one question I'm wondering is if he saw all that wrecking happen and he just said, I can't come in. Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Whoa, someone else is coming in on pit road. Just almost got ran over there.
That would be Kelly Causey in the 00. Got the Def Leppard sponsorship. I was having a heck of a time trying to pour some sugar on me on the back bumper there. That font threw me off.
Someone definitely does not listen to enough rock music, especially old rock music classics.
No, somebody can't read.
Are you sure that's what it is?
Yeah, I've heard pour some sugar on me.
Okay, so cycle of pit stops, and you do realize that the first group kind of got separated due to their incident, and the second group, they had their incident, so they're going to be kind of spread around here
They're
now.
showing Silver Bullet as the leader right now. Kilojoules did get back to
And
pit road, by the
yeah,
way.
I was about
Oh,
to mention
nope.
that.
Here's Silver Bullet coming
Matt's
back
turn.
in.
Silver bullet,
Looking to
Matt's turn.
see. Oh, he got a black flag. 4 car
Well,
was
there's
issued a
probably
black
going to be
flag.
plenty of black flags based on getting wrecked and
Yeah.
bumped or turned. That speed increases and entering pit road not safely and all that mess. It just screws up a lot of things that the game can't read.
Brain Fade is going to cycle to the front in the 49. First lap, he's going to lead here this evening. Looks like Furco is going to be second, Monty Keller third, and then Ricky J, Andrew Miller, and Robbie Nisus going to be the top 6 here, this lead pack. Well, there's about a good dozen drivers they'd love to see a yellow flag right now.
And you know there was a lot of adjustments probably made on pit road after that one
Oh, yeah.
because that was the first stop. It's like, yeah, I don't like how this is handling. I'm going to change something now.
We're going to try and keep you guys updated. As of right now, after the cycle of pit stops, it looks like 17 drivers will be on the lead lap. Keith McLean, Zach Rogers, they just went a lap down. Our pole sitter, DJ Champ's down a lap. Bob Sire and BSR Eli, we saw those guys in the grass. They're a lap down. They've returned to the track, though. Kilojoules did make it to pit road. Lost a lap in the process, though. He's back in 23rd. Denny Carroll is a lap down in 24th, and Liam Tingley now 3 laps down. So, man, pit road played a lot more of a factor here in the first 25 laps than what happened out on the racing surface. And, oh yeah, by the way, they got to make at least 2, maybe 3 more pit stops before the conclusion of this race.
And maybe after that little bit of a shake off, shake it off a little bit, maybe it'll be a little bit easier next time.
Yeah, field's definitely spread out more, so it won't be nearly as big of packs coming out of pit lane.
But you do realize what you mentioned earlier about Furco being up near the front. Where is Furco running at right now?
Right
Second, up near the front.
Yeah.
And you said he was with the BSR Eli at the time. Well, he's with another BSR, which is Brain Fade, like you said, but he's still right there on the back bumper, just helping the BSR group out.
Right now you got Dodges first and second, then a Chevrolet in third, a Ford in fourth, another Chevrolet in fifth, and currently the lone Dodge up inside of the lead pack in BSR to Bandit. Gotta wonder if these 6, if this thing continues to run green. I know that a couple of them came to pit road a little bit later than others, but I almost wonder if now, say we end up having another round of pit stops under green, do you all come down pit road together, all work together to keep it a battle amongst yourselves, just in case this thing continues to trend green to the checkered flag? Don't even let the others have a chance of getting back in the conversation.
Well, if it was a points battle or a championship battle, we're
then probably no.
But yeah, at this point in time, you got a small group you're with, and if you're running pretty good, like you got Robbie, you got I believe Andrew Miller is in the 86 in this, right?
Yes, he is.
So
yep.
You got Andrew up here, you got Joven. These guys up here, they're like, let's just keep it this way. If not less people, that way they have a better shot to be at the end of this. But, overall, in the back of someone's mind, like, I wish, we could have a bigger field, make it more exciting or whatever in that case. It's a give and take, love and hate thought process, I would assume here. As we see Julian getting passed by Good Pastor and a few other people here, BSR Nelly at the line. I feel bad for KJ. He just didn't want to involve himself in that wreck, and he paid the price big time for that one.
Yeah, he definitely did. Right now, he is running 23rd. He is the 6th driver in line as far as the lap cars. The driver currently in the lucky dog position is actually at the tail end of the lead line. That would be Keith McLean. He is currently scored in the 18th position. This lead pack, you go all the way back, I think it's about 10 seconds before you get to the next lead lap car, and that's Aussie Bill. He's working with the pole sitter, DJ Champ, who is a lap down.
They're closing in on Zach.
Yep. they're closing in on Zach, and then they're getting closed in on by this group. There's a bunch of lead lap cars here. Tyler Mallon in the 8th position. Greg Lovell right behind him.
Well,
Joshua Clements.
these guys just caught the Malin machine, and that's what I've been wondering about. I did see Malin get a little bit of damage regarding the pit roadness. As you see, Brian Boyles, he's going right underneath Greg Lavelle. Oh, there's a little
Ooh!
contact, a little bit close there.
I think there definitely was a
But
little bit of sheet metal exchanged.
But at this point in time, what I'm getting at is it's like, and I don't mean to be kind of like harping on Malin here. It's just that we know Malin as someone who's always in the conversation up near the front. It's just kind of shocking to see that at the very beginning of this race he went to the back a little bit, and we assumed he might have been just like biding his time and not really sure what was going on. And this whole race, I just don't know stuff. It's just not like the normal Malin that we know. I'm not sure if it's a strategy or if there's something else, like the setup wasn't exactly where he wants it at or something, or what.
Could have been the setup. Almost wonder if it might have also been positioned at the start of the race. If he had been able to qualify up on the front row or maybe in the first 2 rows, we may have seen a little bit more aggressive side of him to keep that track position. But since he qualified about mid-pack, 8th position, might have changed up the strategy a little bit, drifted to the back to keep the car in one piece. But not to say, though, that the incident he had there on pit road wouldn't have happened one way or another. Saw a number of our drivers that were up at the front of the field in the first 20 laps or so get involved in pit road miscues with others.
I mean,
so
you and I were having a conversation about people to keep an eye on before we even started the broadcast, and Malin was one of those people that we had on our radar.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ty Malin,
especially
very
this
good
guy
super
behind Malin
racer.
too. We had this guy behind Malin, Greg Lovell, and Zach Rogers on our radar as well. And
yep.
Price pay tables get turned, especially at the plate race. That's all part of plate racing, isn't it, Seth?
Definitely is. A lot of really good super speedway racers in this field, but sometimes it comes down to skill. Other times it comes down to luck, and a lot of drivers drew the short straw on the luck side there during that round of green flag pit stops. Kelly Causey, we saw him come to pit road by himself about a couple laps after most of the front runners did. He's now going a lap down in the 17th position.
Matt Stern's off of the corner right there. He's about to be caught.
Yep. So if he ends up getting put a lap down, that'll leave us with 15 drivers on the lead lap.
Rogers got really sideways off of that corner.
Now, if the numbers hold true, we've got pit road coming up in another 6 laps. Be interesting to see who of this front pack come to pit road together.
What lap did they pin on?
Well, a lot of the front runners actually came down pit road on lap 18. That was something else you and I were talking about that we were a little bit surprised about because, 18, 19, 20 laps, that's normal for 2X on CTS physics. We thought with cut physics they'd be able to go a little bit further, but apparently that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and we also discussed the fact of open setup versus fixed setup too. That was also something we thought about along the line as well. But whoa, hello, big check up here.
Oh, there we go. Zach Rogers into the wall.
Brian Boyles, I don't know what happened here. He's slowing down big time. Did he blow up, Seth?
I think he did.
He just retired.
Oh, he just retired. I think he might have just crashed his game potentially there. I'm not sure. Eli is up into the wall there. Yellow flag for the first time here tonight in the Hangover 200.
Wow.
There's about 3 or 4 drivers that are breathing a sigh of relief right now. Goodpaster and Nelly, they were maybe in danger of going a lap down.
Out of that pack, all of a sudden I saw a car in front of just like bump the back end of Boyles. I'm like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, I think you may have hit the nail on the head because before Voiles disappeared, I thought I may have seen a plume of gray smoke, so that thing may have blown up.
And that's something else that we need to discuss about real quick is with it being an open setup, yeah, we have people with grill tip maybe at 50 or 55. Some of them push the issue and go up to 60. And, for most of the time with the little short runs that we have, that's fine. But when you get into a really long run, and being behind someone for a long period of time, it eventually blows. And you and I were having a discussion about that too.
There's a look at it there. Well, I'm not seeing smoke. I'm wondering
Well,
if
he did
maybe
drop out of
he did
TeamSpeak.
drop out. I'm wondering if like there was maybe a tab out or something. Obviously, something on the technical side took place because that thing just started slow, and
Well,
everybody
he's
was.
he's labeled as a lap down still.
Yeah, he's not listed as out of the race. Watch this checkup. I believe Magoo was the one that was right behind him. There's the bump. You see, he's slowed. Rogers goes up into the wall after contact with DJ Champ, and
Somebody
then
else hit the wall too.
Eli goes for a spin and almost keeps it off the wall. Little contact there with the right rear.
Somebody hit the wall over there in the trial. Well, I don't know if that was Eli or not.
I think it was Eli, maybe somebody else as well. There was somebody else in the vicinity. I think it might have been BSR Scar. Let's see if he had any contact, because I saw him make an evasive move to avoid. Gets loose right there, but I think he's good. That's Aussie Bill right there in the Red Bull machine. I think that's a Honda. Pretty sure that's a Honda Accord right there. Almost looks like a V8 supercar. That's what brings out the yellow.
All the lead lappers pit. The only people who did not pit right now are people who are a lap down or more, starting with Heath McLean in the 28.
Who should be the lucky dog. He was the first car one lap down when that yellow came out. We're only 4 laps away, roughly 4 laps away from when they would have had to consider a second round of green flag pit stop, so I don't think, if there is a rule in place for waiver rounds, I don't even think drivers could
Well, I
even have that
mean,
as an option, right?
I'm
Because
looking at the
you'd have to
standings
pit
right now.
almost as soon as we went back green.
The standings are showing everyone back on it, but I'm looking at Brian Voiles. Puts him as 2 down at the moment.
Yep. Still currently not back in the server, that being the NR server or TeamSpeak.
Well, I'm not really familiar with the tabbing out because I usually don't have that problem. I usually just have a game crash or something.
Right.
So, how does that work with the whole scenario with tabbing out stuff?
So basically, with the tabbing out, is your game will minimize. Maybe a program pops up and it'll minimize the game. It'll end up, in essence, crashing the game. And there actually, about a couple of weeks ago, there was an instance of that took place in a league race that I was a part of. And in the case of Magoo, there's just nothing you can do because that car just all of a sudden decreases in speed. It's like split second. And next thing you know, they're into your front grille. So the fact, though, that he also dropped from the TeamSpeak.
Yeah, and I'm looking right here on the chat. It does say that he received through but failed to accept the level
Yeah,
since he fell out.
the,
He
the
didn't disconnect.
the thing that I find a little untoward that I'm trying to figure out, though, is normally if it's an internet connection thing, then the car just blinks out and it never returns. It doesn't decrease in speed, it's just gone. And the
That
fact
one
that it started
decreased.
slowing, I don't know. That's why I feel that it was a little
That's why I was
something more than
asking.
internet.
That's why I was asking if he blew up or if he was out of fuel,
Right, it
because I
certainly
didn't
looked
know.
like something with a blow up, but no, I didn't see anything to indicate that the engine had gone south. So,
I
oh
do
no,
want to
it's a
take.
mystery.
I do want to take a point to give a moment to mention the people like Lavelle and Joven. I'm not sure about Joven, but Malin. We saw Malin, Magoo. Um, who else did we see back there? There were a whole bunch of groups that were waiting in the back. This caution is something that they were really hoping and praying for, and they got it.
Yep, Clements, Aussie Bill was back in that group. Very welcome yellow flag for them, puts them back in the conversation. Another thing, though, too, is this doesn't necessarily change up strategy, whether they had made this pit stop under green or under caution. It may shift the next green flag pit stop maybe 2 or 3 laps earlier, but it's
Yeah.
right around when they would have planned to come to pit road. So a lot of
Well,
times we'll see a yellow flag fly in the middle of a run. This doesn't really change up any original strategy that they might have had at the drop of the
you
green.
said 18, 18, 18 is 36, roughly 36, 37, give a lap or two, and they're right here on track at 34, and
Yeah.
some of these guys made a pit stop around 33. So you're like about 5 laps off,
Yeah,
roughly.
pretty much. Which would be, give or take, a little less than half of a fuel run for these
But
drivers.
but you and I both know still a long way. It's only 34 going on 35 laps here. So
Long ways to go. Lot can happen. And with that being said, it looks like we got a couple of drivers that are attempting to take the wave around. Looks like Kilojoules, Denny Carroll, and Silver Bullet. Oh,
yeah,
look
you
at
got to
this!
remember some of these guys super pit and they were able to get out.
How about this? Looks like
Maybe.
almost all of our leaders, a couple of them not, coming back down pit road to top off the fuel tank, probably.
Try to get
Interesting.
close to that strategy that was probably already in place in their mind.
Absolutely. A little
Don't want
congested
anything to be
there on
thrown
pit
out
road.
there.
Little congested. They all made it through. I think Andrew Miller is going to cycle as the leader. Yep.
And I'm hearing a lot of clutching too.
Yep. Same. So looks like Keith McLean would get the lucky dog. Looks like Silver Bullet, Denny Carroll, Kilojoules. They'll take the wave around. They're going to have to hope for a quick caution, though, because they would only be about, I think, 5 or 6 laps away once we go back green of having to come to pit road. We'll have 17 drivers on the lead lap as a result. Actually, maybe 18. We're going to double check on the Keith McLean situation because I'm actually looking and he's still scored a lap down, so maybe they don't have a free pass rule in play here. We'll wait and see. Maybe it's they add a lap back on the green. We'll update once we end up having a couple of green flag laps here. But the way they'll line up, the entire front of the field has gotten a facelift. It'll be Andrew Miller and Monty Keller. They'll be the front row. Then DeBandit and Joshua Clements up in row 2. BSR Scars now up in the top 5. Aussie Bill will be 6th. And then Brain Fade, Furco, Ricky J, Tyler Mel, and Jeff Goodpaster, they all came down pit road to at least top off the fuel tank. They'll be the completion of the top 10 here. And we are almost halfway home. We're about 3 laps away from halfway through tonight's race, and we're only working our first caution of the night.
Did you say Andrew Miller? Because I could have sworn you said that he was a lap down, or he's on the tail end of the lead lap, or
He
he's late
was.
with us the pace car. Can you give me just at least a little bit of fun with him? Just a little bit, please.
Just a tad. Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. He'll beat me up in Pocono, but just a little bit.
So now some of these other cars that might have damage are in the middle of all these other drivers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here going back to the green. So it's about them weaving in and out.
Single file restart here. Got a couple of drivers that shaded up to the outside just in case there was a checkup. Like Aussie Bill might have been one of them. As Miller gets us back under green. Bit of a breakaway there of the top 2. Aussie Bill trying to get around the lap machine. The old school type restarts here where the lap cars are all intermingled in with the lead lap cars. The 91 is the first car 1 lap down, but he is 6th in line here for this restart.
I'm back here at the back watching to see if there's a gap between Zach Rogers and ESR Nelly. I'm wondering if Rogers is going to be able to close that gap. Tyler, looks like Tyler Mallon's fine. Liam Tingley going to the high side, dropping back to get out of the way of other drivers. I don't know if he's still off the pace or if he's actually up to par with everyone. But they're 3 wide up near the front side.
Polsetter wants his lap back the hard way. DJ Champ took it 3 wide with Robbie Nisus. Now clears Monty Keller, and he's going to look for that 86 to get out in front of him. If a yellow were to come out, he'd be back in the lead lap. Look at this gaggle of cars behind them, though. That's Scar in the middle in the 83. Right in front of him is DeBandit. You've got Ricky J behind him. 3 wide, about 2-3 rows deep. And none of those cars look steady off of turn 2.
No, they're fighting and clawing. They want to get there. They want their laps back. They also want to get up to the front. They just want to do it the way we're supposed to do it. Stuff, not sit there and ride like Arcafile Racing. We want to actually race, right?
Yeah, I mean, normally if you end up having the lucky dog rule, you're more than happy to just settle in line, keep all the rest of your lap cars behind you. But it looks like as we ended up Going back green here, it looks like these drivers, they're realizing if they're going to get back into this conversation, they can't rely on 2, 3, 4 cautions and maybe be in line for a free pass late in this
And,
race. They got to get these laps back now, and DJ Champ
and
has managed to do that.
And I do want to point out that some of these cars that we saw get a little bit of damage, like Zach Rogers, Tyler Mallon, these other guys, they're actually up to speed, or they're enough up to speed to be with this pack. As I saw Rogers, basically close back in. I'm with Greg Lavelle right now at the back around 15th position. And there is one thing I am noticing, Seth, with them trying to race really hard and the way they are right
Contact! Clements up into the wall after contact between him and Ricky J. He saved it, though. The wall helped him. Still green.
He might be able to get back in draft here.
Wow.
I saw Lavelle back off really a lot back there in 3 and 4.
By the way, I'm pretty sure I, in my panic, said Jeremy Clements. It's Joshua Clements, not the Xfinity driver.
Okay, let's. Oh, whoa!
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 Good pastor into the wall. Caution's out. There's another car spinning in the grass. That's Nelly, and I think there's another car further down in the grass as well. That's Eli.
Yeah, Seth, got a question for you. You got anything popping up if whispers or pokes on you?
No.
Okay.
Caution out. DJ Champ's gonna get his lap back the hard way. Another driver that might have been involved might have been Denny Carroll. He's already retired out of the race.
Do me a favor. When you go back to look at the replay, look at BSR Eli, because I don't know if he overcorrected that corner or if he cut a tire, because his car shot straight to the right. That's what I saw. There was no one around him except for a car on his outside, and he just went straight to the right. I don't know if there was a tire down or just overcorrected.
Silver Bullet and Kilojoules are both crawling back. I remember they took the wave around, though. I think they're clutching to get back to pit road. I think they were just about having to come to pit lane. This caution might have saved them. Yeah. Wow. All right, let's focus on the 114 of BSR Eli, side by side with Goodpaster. Oh, wow,
You see what I'm getting at?
That thing just went straight up the track. Does he get the apron? Nope. Oh, wow.
You see what I mean? He went straight there. I don't know if that was overcorrecting or if he blew a tire.
Yeah, it's almost like either a right front went down or... Yeah, that was weird.
Because right before he turns to the right and hits a Goodpaster, you see it kind of pop for a minute.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's a tire.
Yeah, shoots right back to the right. And then he takes a pretty good shot as well into the inside wall. Almost at that opening. Goodpaster gets some pretty good damage there. Look at Greg Lovell able to avoid. Nelly goes around. I don't think Nelly got hit. I think Nelly got on the brakes, maybe locked up the rear tires, and that sent him around. We'll take a look at him, and then we'll go back and see, because I thought he was involved in this wreck since I saw he was out of the race, but apparently Denny Carroll either was involved in something else or may have parked it early. Oh, well, nope. I was wrong. I thought Nelly might have locked him up. Nope, he got an assistance from Joshua Clements.
Yeah, I'm going at 40.57 to 40.58. I'm still focused on Eli here. I'm wondering how bad the tire temps are. I have no idea, Seth.
I'm not sure.
Something popped on that car, because you can see it between 40.57 and 40.58 timestamp. The thing just popped and it went straight to the right. And I'm like,
could it be something with the sim rig, like a disconnect that could have caused that? I don't know. Try and see if we can figure out. Oh, whoa, hold on. We had something before that yellow even came out that we missed with Denny Carroll. Look at this. This is coming off of 4. Denny Carroll, who had, I believe, taken the wave around, he was coming into pit road and locks him up, hits the inside wall, comes back up right in front of Kilojoules, and gets completely T-boned by the 029. Well, Kilojoules is certainly going to have some front-end damage, and that's going to take Denny Carroll out of this race. Boy, that was a big hit. We never even saw it with our wave-around cars, and Denny Carroll, along with, looks like BSR Eli, they have declared themselves out of the race. They'll, for the moment, be scored in 22nd and
Well,
23rd. Jury's still out about
I do want to
Brian
point out that
Voiles.
Keith McLean, I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but off of 2 on lap 38, I believe, he actually spun off on a single solo.
Oh, did he? Okay, we missed
Yeah.
that as well.
Came off the corner and the back end just looped around on him.
That would have been our lucky dog driver from the first yellow. A couple of cars coming down pit lane there, like Bob Sire and Kilojoules. I think we'll definitely have a couple more wave around cars this time.
Actually, well, let me look at him here. He's inside of Greg Lavelle at the point behind Magoo.
No, we got
And
time. We're
I'm
going to go back and
wondering,
take a look
yeah,
too here on the
I think
broadcast.
what happened was McLean got a little bit where the apron is. You know how when we go a little bit low, that left front barely catches that apron and it just spins you out. I think that's what happened to him.
See if we can find that. Oh, yep, here it is. This was, I think, what, just behind the other wreck?
Yeah, they haven't wrecked yet. I'm still going with it because I want to see what you were saying. Denny was coming to pit road that time after that happened, and he went behind that and said, "Well, yeah."
Keith got the apron there, the yellow
KJ
line
hit.
with the left front.
And then further up, they pit, and you say that KJ hit Denny on the entry pit road after he spun out. Yeah.
So that was about a lap before the caution even came out, but since it was towards the rear of the field and the spin never took place until after he was below the yellow line, that didn't bring out the yellow. So we had a couple of things happen there before what actually brought the second caution out.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
There definitely is. Got to keep your head on a swivel here tonight.
All you gotta say is Happy New Year.
That's right. It's the Hangover 200. Maybe some of them aren't over the hangover yet. So as of right now, looks like 2 drivers would be in line to take the wave around. Kelly Causey and Zach Rogers. Liam Tingley also in a wave around position, but he would gain back one of his 3 laps. So he'd be -2 when we go back green. Ricky J would inherit the race lead. Looks like as of right now, 3 drivers out of the race. I can't say officially on the Brian Voiles situation, but I think it's probably safe to assume he's out of the race now. So Denny Carroll, BSR Eli, Brian Voiles, 23rd through 25th. Yeah, I think they're going to be the drivers at this point officially out of the Hangover 200.
And Andrew will be the leader again.
Oh, Joven Pitt? Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. That was
brought a whole lot of people with him too.
I believe that was Joven's 15th lap led, I think, that last time by. Yep, it was. There goes Causey and Rogers and Tingley getting their respective laps back.
You know, that saved the idea of the staying out and, oh, well, we're going to have to pit here. No, here comes the option.
How interesting how things change in super speedway races. We talk about it all the time. We had, what, about 11, 12 drivers on the lead lap about 15 laps ago? When we go back green, 20 drivers will be back on the lead lap.
I do want to point out one thing. McLean hit that apron, spun out. No caution came out for him. That caution came out another, like, a whole lap later, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look where McLean is.
It's like
Luck of the draw right there.
6th place, I think, on this upcoming restart.
There's very fortunate for him because this puts him back in the talk of the picture now.
Definitely does. How about DJ Champ? We saw him get his lap back the hard way before that caution came out, so he was able to pit with the leaders, and the pole sitter is going to restart in 7th place.
How about some people we haven't even talked about? We got Scarborough up here.
Absolutely.
We also got Aussie Bill. Remember where he was? We were talking about him a little bit hanging around, and then look where he is now. He's up here at the top 3. He's running 3rd at the moment, and unfortunately, still got quite a bit to go, so it's not over yet.
I just had to, for my own curiosity's sake, look and see the front of that number 021. That is a Holden car, so I was correct. That is an Australian V8 supercar livery on that machine. I don't recall who the driver is, but I do recognize
Did you remember back in the day when we had these mods and we downloaded them and there was a whole bunch of different, like, Holden, we had different, like, 83s and 93s and all?
Yep, yeah. I do remember that.
About to go back to green, by the way.
I think there were some Citrions that were in there, some Acuras that were in there. think somebody actually made like a V8 supercar mod, or car set, I should say, for, if it wasn't this mod, it was another of the BR Gen 13 or Gen 15. As green flag back in the air. Trying to anticipate that start there was BSR Scar, gave a shove to Andrew
Question.
Miller.
Question, what happened to Furco? Furco's way back here at the back.
Uh,
Did he get a black or a penalty and we just don't know it? We didn't
not
pay attention to
sure.
it?
He's losing the draft.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's what I was curious about on that.
I'm not certain. Furco crossed the line.
Because he
21st,
came
last
in.
of the car. Oh gosh, this is getting crazy up at the front.
He pulled out a line before we went back to green, and I was curious about what was going on.
As of right now, the only driver I'm seeing that was issued a black flag on the start was the 4. And that may have been potentially for passing a car before the start-finish line. There may have been something else, though, as well that we don't know about. I don't know if he's serving anything. Doesn't look like it, so probably will be cleared by time our scoring updates. Yeah, I don't know about that 19, but he's definitely going to lose the draft here.
This inside line trying to get itself together. Whoa,
wow.
Greg Lavelle.
And Joshua Clements in front of him was almost like synchronized. Both those cars drifted up about a full groove through the center of 1 and 2.
You know, I always have said, and I've always been a huge fan of open setup racing, but this right here is making me wonder, is this what it used to be like when I ran? Because I can't even remember.
Were they
the
really
last time I
this
did open
unsteady?
setup. Yeah.
Almost looking three wide there. Greg Lovell, DJ Champ in the middle, Aussie Bill up on the top, still 3 through the tri-oval.
That's what I'm worried about, is that bottom. If you notice that they get really shifty on that bottom.
Trying to figure out what that is too. You brought up about maybe tire temp when we saw the issue with Eli on the inside line. Maybe that's causing these cars to kind of jump up there. I don't know.
Because they got ×2 wear, right?
Yep.
So they shouldn't be wearing that bad unless there's something that we don't know about regarding the temperatures.
Yeah, don't even ask me about camber and springs and how that affects it, because I don't have a clue. I know there are things you can adjust, but I have no idea what they do to affect the car.
They are 3 wide, and I am really worried about coming off of 2 now.
Tyler Mallon's up there in that 3 wide. Believe that's yep, that's Ricky J up on the outside there. Monty Keller as well. Did a pretty good job of hammering out the back bumper of Jeff Goodpaster after he was into the back straightaway wall. Oh,
whoa, Magoo.
Is that on my end, some of these cars side to side, or is the 029 shifting back and forth a little? That might be on my end.
Well, I saw KJ a little bit earlier on with this connection, because he does have that connection off and on, but...
Oh my gosh, look at this at the front. That 91, he has to have his grill tape up a little bit higher than some of these others, because the runs he's able to generate by himself, he did it to get back on the lead lap as near contact between him and the 86. And now he's doing it again to try and get back up to the front. That's 3 wide for the 3rd position. Brain fade blocking the top. Aussie Bill going to shift from the bottom to the middle. Oh, it's like the calm before the storm.
Oh my god. If you go back here with Magoo and just ride on his onboard, 3 wide, death in front of him is what it seems like.
Josh Scar nearly. There we go. Bob Sire up into Joshua Clements. Nelly was in it. Caution is out.
Now, question, are they frozen field or are
That's
they
what I was
back?
saying with the leaders, just to check and see. It looks like the speeds are decreasing and they're holding position, so it looks like frozen field. I was curious about that myself.
Okay, because I was asking that in my mind.
Looks like the 49 was ahead at the time of the yellow. There is the Cadillac of Bob Sire. Looks like he may have, if not one, both of the front tires down.
Well, this is going to help Furco for
sure. Yep, just saw him. Nelly's nursing that machine back. I don't know if he's coming down pit road. I don't think he can. It's a closed pit road. I think he's got a tire down on the left side.
I do want to point out what I'm looking at here on the standings too, Seth, is that Carroll and Eli are still able to. That's the only two out. Kingley has a 2 lap down, and Royal still 18 lap down. He has not reconnected to TeamSpeak or the server. So
Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say he's retired out of the race.
probably internet issues is what
Yeah.
I would assume with him.
I mean, even if he returned in, he wouldn't be in the conversation for the win. He could, at
Yeah.
best, probably finish in 22nd. And, again, I asked you the question earlier about, uh, do you approach this race differently in terms of how aggressive you are? Do you experiment? All that kind of stuff with it being an exhibition race as opposed to points paying race. Also, a little less of a sting when you retire out of a race like this rather than one where you're giving up points. So obviously, it's a tough
Yeah.
break for some of these guys, not able to reach the conclusion, but at the same time, the only thing you're losing out on is running more laps with the guys out there on the racetrack. You're not losing a championship, not
Can
losing
I?
a checkered flag that could eventually get you a championship trophy.
I want to point out something to you real quick. Actually, there's a couple things I just noticed I want to point out to you. First off is we were having a discussion about T-mail, remember?
Yep.
It makes sense now. Tingley starts his last name with the letter T.
Yep.
Now look at Liam spelled backwards.
Yes. Yeah, I had actually
That
put
makes
that
sense now.
together. Yep.
Yeah, because we
For
were
those wondering, he,
asking.
he came into TeamSpeak with, what was it, T-Mail as his
Yeah.
username, and we didn't know who it was. Now it makes sense.
Now the other thing I wanted to say was I'm noticing every single time I get on one of these cars coming into pit road, they're touching the brake, and when they're touching that brake just a little bit, I'm hearing a lot of squealing, like they're really locking it up, and it's not just one specific driver; it's multiple. So I'm wondering about what we were talking about with the tire heat and tire temperatures and whatnot now.
Tire heat, and then also the brake bias.
Because when we lock them up, it really kills the wear in a heartbeat on that, depending
Definitely
on
does.
what we're at.
I'm also wondering too. Obviously, we didn't get to go out on the racetrack and everything. A
Yeah.
lot of drivers I'm seeing spinning out are having tires down, and I wonder if that is in relation to what their brake bias was set to, or if the track grip might be causing that. I don't know. It might be a combination of both, but I mean, it looked like Nelly had maybe a left front down coming back to pit road. Sire, I think, didn't have either of his front tires, so. Drivers are having
Well,
issues here, whether it be with grip or whether it be with their setup of their tires wearing on
honestly,
spins.
if I could, and I'm not going to, even if I had the ability to or whatever, because I don't know their rules and their formats and their settings and stuff in this series too well, Seth. We've only done like a couple, 2 or 3 for broadcasting
Right.
here. I would say move someone up to or down here to discuss, since we've got a long green, like we have the caution out for a bit here, and I don't know if they would allow that or how they would approach it, but if we could get one of the drivers to ask,
Well, we might be able to here.
I don't know if that would be something that you would have to discuss with someone. I would probably get someone like Kelly Causey or someone like that to
Maybe get
discuss
Ricky
it.
J or somebody like
You
that.
could, yeah.
Yeah, we got the time. We got the time here. We got another
If you want
at
to.
least lap here of pacing. Yeah, let's get some questions answered here that we've been talking about up in the booth. Obviously, a driver down behind the wheel would probably have an idea of an answer. Let's see if we
Yeah, a little
can,
bit better.
see if we can dial him up.
Buddy was
The
moved
driver, the
to your
number
channel.
93, who's been out in front for a good portion of the night, Ricky J. Ricky, Jess and Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got us?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Well, we were talking about the fact this is a throwback for us. It's been a long time since we've seen the original Gen 6 mod out on the racetrack. It's been a long time since we've seen open setup, so we're going to pepper you with a couple of questions here.
Okay.
First off, we were kind of wondering about the fuel window. We ended up talking with you earlier. You told us about 18 laps. We saw that come to fruition with that first round of green flag pit stops. Now, that normally is what we look at a fuel window with a 2x CTS race. This is cut physics. What's the difference that ended up kind of shifting the fuel window a little bit earlier than we might have projected?
Oh, there's a bunch of different variables. Obviously, the cups have more power in the car and all that. We're running a different chassis as well, so we got a lower RPM gear, but for some reason that still creates a less slap or two because the fuel tank's smaller. And another variable too is everyone's got different gears. Some got even different tape on and other interesting stuff. So that kind of adjusts the fuel window for everybody, given a lap or two, depending on what you got your car set up for. Some people got their car set up with a shorter gear, make it quicker, vice versa.
Hey, Joven. Okay, so the other question that Seth and I were throwing at each other here, we saw Eli, come off the corner, and it looked like his car popped for a moment and took off straight to the right. We've seen people go on pit road, braking, and we just heard them locking it up. We can hear the squeal in the tires. We've seen people kind of push up and turn hard to the left almost, so they wouldn't wreck someone to avoid that. What's the deal with it? Is there a tire problem with the temps, the heat? Why?
No, that's just the sheer fact of big concept. Obviously, to a certain point, looser is faster, but if you push the issue too far, well, you might get a tiny little bit more speed out of the car. It can't sacrifice control, and down on that bottom, it can get kind of slick coming off the corner transition.
And
so
and you had a question about spoiler stuff that you wanted to answer.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, because we saw a couple of drivers getting really loose off of turn 2. Is this a track where the spoiler is able to be adjusted, or is it at a fixed height?
It's at a fixed height. The spoiler is the exact same for everybody on this track with this chassis, so it's not even adjustable from what I can recall. So
no lucky dogs, by the way? Or what?
I believe there are lucky dogs. I think someone's still a lap down unless everybody got back on the lead lap already.
Yeah, I think Keith got the lucky dog under the last caution. Not sure who would have been.
We were talking about that earlier about the lucky dog.
I'm pretty sure the 28 got his lap back. I think it was added back manually, so it looks like there are lucky dogs.
Yes.
All right, looks like lights are out here going into 3. You've been out in front for 15 laps. Gonna be starting back about mid-pack. Best of luck here as you try to close this thing out.
Thank you, guys. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to try to get back up there and hope to see you guys later.
Absolutely. Have fun, Joven, even though you're in a Ford.
I love my Ford.
He loves his blue oval. What is it that we're used to seeing him in? It used to be a Dodge, right?
Yeah, and he was always either in a Dodge or a Pontiac because of the 93 Blaney.
Right. That's absolutely right. I think there was a point here, too. I might be wrong, but I think there was a point when he drove the 193 in Bob Squad Racing where I think he was a Chevy. I might be wrong.
Yeah, but I've never really seen him in a Ford. That's kind of a shocker for me.
It is new. It is
so we now know it's not a tire issue. It's just a setup issue.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of different variables, a lot of different questions we had with the open setup.
Whoa! You see that dart to the inside from BSR DJ right there on Andrew Miller, before the line.
Miller tried to anticipate and gave a bump there to Aussie Bill, and it checked him up. And DJ Champ was ready.
You think that's going to be A-okay by them?
That's a good
I don't
question.
know.
That was before the start-finish line, wasn't it?
Yep, that's what I was asking. I don't know.
Don't know either.
Joven's way back here in 14th spot, so he's behind Furco. And that really helped out Furco because he's back on right up here on the 13th position, right behind Kelly Causey, right behind Malin. And get this, Stearns right there along with Zach Rogers.
Take a look up here at the front for me real quick. Do you see someone up there that probably we might have written off?
You mean SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah! How the heck is the 029 back up here in the top 5? We ended up running out of fuel, losing a lap as a result. He did get the wave around, but then he clobbered Denny Carroll when Carroll spun coming to pit road. I thought that thing would have had engine damage, but nope, it's still motoring on just fine up here going for 3rd place.
Okay, so the first mistake he made was assuming everything was the way it was, and you're forgetting that he's got SpongeBob on the car, so physics don't apply in his world.
I'm also forgetting that he's kilojoules.
And also don't forget about looking at doorknobs.
That's true. They're illegal.
On other planets.
On other planets. Not here though. I can also say I don't think I've ever licked a doorknob, so.
Neither have I. I just don't understand why someone would. But hey, we can't judge people. People are people. They're going to do what they want to do. Boy, we got 3 wide up here.
Keith! Oh no! He's going to get
there he goes.
the 4, and I don't think this is going to bring out a yellow.
Keith is coming back.
And
There it is.
everyone avoids him. Yep, yellow's coming out there.
Did he get damage? I didn't see
I
if he got
don't
damage
think
off
he
that.
hit anything, but the Ford definitely did. With the passenger side, Matt Stern, silver bullet.
I was still staying with everyone at the front when that happened. So
Keith's been having problems with getting loose down there against that apron. I'm
you
not
remember
certain, but I
earlier?
think his left front again might have
Yeah.
clipped that yellow line.
And he barely got Matt Stern at the end of that trial issue on that. I think I think him coming back across the track is what caused that yellow, because he had like 2 or 3 cars still oncoming.
This will be our 4th caution of the evening. We could either go lick a doorknob or go look at a replay. I think we'll go look at a replay.
You are really pushing copyright strikes on Nickelodeon now.
That might be. I mean, hey, pretty soon Disney's going to lose the royalty rights to Mickey Mouse here in 2024, so maybe the royalty rights to SpongeBob will be public domain soon. There's the hit for Silver Bullet. Not too bad. Visible damage on the right side, but I don't think it's going to be race ending.
And Keith McLean just disconnected from Team 6.
Oh.
I think that was probably because he felt like it was his incident or his second incident or something. Probably why it was.
I don't know if they have a strike system here in a
I don't
exhibition
know
race or not.
I don't think Matt got too much damage off. Do you think it's too much?
No, I think he's good.
That right side looks like it's kind of pushed in a little bit.
He hit it square though, like broadside, and if there's such a thing at a super speedway, it was relatively light contact. I think he should be good. I mean, Kilojoules is up here after a big hit with the front end, so I'm pretty sure Silver Bullet's okay. I think.
And I am gonna say it because it's me and because of how I love controversy all the time when it comes to politics. So you were talking about Mickey Mouse what?
Apparently, I ended up reading that Mickey Mouse, the copyright to him, is going to be public domain here in 2024 because the concept of him when the copyright was filed was 100 years ago.
And that is not because of a DeSantis agreement, is it?
No, as far as I'm aware, it is not.
I had to poke that out there.
I mean, I don't know necessarily what people would do with Mickey being in public domain.
Well,
now,
have you heard the little rumor or whatever? And I've even seen things that say Disney confirms that apparently Mickey and Minnie broke up or something. It's like, what? They got a divorce or something? After so many years together, they finally call it quits? It's like,
I was at Disney
what?
this past October, and they were together still, so those rumors are false.
I mean, you get my point, though. They were talking about that because of a certain thing that was going on with Mickey being shown with another character for a long period of time. It's like, what? Well, I don't understand. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's like that one crazy Britney fan is like, leave Britney alone. It's like,
yeah.
Leave Mickey alone.
Leave Mickey and Minnie alone. So I was curious about
leave
that,
Donald and Daisy alone too.
I was curious about that 021 out in front there. I might be wrong, but I believe the team that this car is based off of is Oracle Red Bull Racing. And it is indeed a V8 Supercars team. And right now, it's pacing.
You know what I like about this, though?
What's that?
You look on the front, it says Holden.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Look on the back, it says SS.
I did notice that, actually. That's why I kind of did a bit of a double take, because I thought it didn't look like a Chevrolet front, but then I saw the SS on the back and thought, well, maybe it is a Chevy? I don't know, is there such a thing as a Holden SS? Maybe.
Do you think they use the same format like they do with the Ford Fusion, using that for the Dodge Dart?
Could be. Could be a Chevy Camry.
I don't know.
Now take a look at these drivers coming to pit road. Look what lap we're on. We are right on the window to make it the rest of the way. 19 to go with Kelly Causey hitting the line here. So we are right there. if this thing were to go green to the end. I think that's why you saw the vast majority of the field come down pit road right there. A couple of drivers, about 5 of them, hoping they can clutch enough to make it to the end. Kelly Causey now out in front. Let me double check. I think that is, yeah, that's the first time that Buckshot has been out in front here tonight. As a matter of fact, looking at the lap leaders so far, only 2 drivers have been up in the double digits. Brain Fade has led the most at 17. Ricky J, who we talked with moments ago, has led 15. 8 laps led for our pole sitter DJ Champ. 7 for Andrew Miller. Looks like 4 laps led for Aussie Bill. 2 laps led apiece for BSR Scar and BSR DeBandit. And then Kelly Causey just led a lap, and a lap led as well for Kilojoules. I remember that lap that he led, though, was when he missed pit road and had to clutch to make his way back around, and eventually ended up falling down a lap as a result. But a lot of drivers have mounted some comeback runs here this evening. At one point, we had only about 11 drivers on the lead lap. Now we've got 20 of them back on the lead lap, and I'm going to have to double check here, Jess, but I think, we'll wait and see, but I think Liam Tingley's back on the lead lap now after being 3 laps down.
Well, if he's not on the lead lap right now, he will be shortly,
yeah.
probably.
So, way to stick it out after his early issues.
Well, he's currently 1 lap down at the back end. He's on lap 57. They're on lap 58.
I think he was the only car a lap down when this caution came out, though. So I think he's going to be the free pass.
Well, what I'm trying to get in my mind right now, Seth, what's going through my mind is 58. We're going to go back to green on lap 59, going to 60. I think.
I think so. If the lights go out, then yeah.
That'll be 17 laps right there. And you said we were on lap 18. That's going to be on the breaking point right there. And honestly, I don't know. They would need. I honestly feel if we go back to green on lap 59, going on to 60. Okay. Is the green light off?
Yes, yep. It is.
All right, so we're going to be going back to green on lap. We're going to 6. It's going to be 17 pushing 18 right there. Yep. So if you push it, you might be right there on fumes. If you get a, I don't want to jinx it. Thinking that's like
looks like Malin's biting the bullet. He was one of those that was staying out, but he's come to pit road. Here's the thing, too. Well, what lap are we racing to?
That's what I was about to bring up.
Because I think probably, lap 72 is what we're looking at as potential point of no return. If you can get to there, have a caution come out, you'll probably be able to clutch enough under pacing to get back to the checkers.
Well, where I was going at was in my mind when I said I don't want to jinx it was the point of no return with that caution, because in my mind I was sitting there saying, well, if we get right to that point and there's a small caution that comes out before, the race back, would you be willing to gamble and raise your grill tape knowing that you're going to be in that window? You might get 1 or 2 laps before caution comes out and ends the race.
That's the thing. That's a good question because, yeah, you and I were talking about that where in open setup races, you end up having the late race yellow, late race restart, and a lot of drivers, they know that they're going out there basically setting 2 qualifying laps in a sense.
Yep.
And they'll raise that grill tape up as high as they can to be able to generate runs, make moves, get that top speed. That could be something to squirrel away for them late in this race.
But now you said that what would be the end point? Would it be wouldn't it be 74?
I'm gonna say 72. They've done about 3 or 4 laps here.
If they got a lap though.
Yeah, they're gonna have Tingley back on the lead lap. The thing that I'm thinking is, we've already documented it. Brian Voiles fell out of the server. He did not officially retire, so I'm not certain if the game would read it as him still being a lap machine in the server. That's why I'm thinking maybe 72 rather than 73.
Well, if they get a caution and they're about to go back to green on lap 70 or 71, would they be willing at that point in time to raise that grill tape up, thinking that they might only get a lap or 2 of racing before the caution comes back out?
The thing of it is, too, would they be willing to come down pit road, make that grill tape adjustment, give up the track position, and maybe have the race end under yellow?
And see, this is why we're here, folks.
Yes, right.
To
ask the questions and have no answers.
Exactly.
Green flag back in the air. Kelly
Causey
getting
making this 3 wide back here with Greg Lavelle to go around.
Yeah, remember Malin, he came down pit road topped off, so he
Yep.
would probably be able to be the safest to make it
Yep.
on fuel right now. Liam Tingley did indeed get the free pass, got his lap added back manually, so all 21 of the cars running on the lead lap here.
Malin pushing it in the middle, trying to get by Magoo and Matt Stern.
Let's go back and watch this. This will be fun watching that Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry.
Yeah. And Lavelle was just trying to follow him through.
Double wide up ahead there, though, for about 4 or 5 rows. That is, I believe,
Whoa,
Scar
jeez, really?
making a move there. Zach Rogers in the 5. He was another one that I was kind of wondering if he would be up to speed, because when he had the contact over in the tri-oval, he nosed it up into the outside safer barrier. But it looks like that thing is still up to speed and still competitive.
I want to take a moment to give someone a shout out that we don't really get a chance to give a shout out to very often, and we've seen them so many times have a lot of bad luck, and that's that 54 machine of Robbie Nices. When we talk about him over in
tonight.
Yeah, we talk about him over there in RTG, but 9 times out of 10 it's always a bad luck scenario, unfortunately. But tonight he's pushing it, he's going.
Yeah, we saw him up there battling the top 5 in the early going. He's stayed on the lead lap all race long. He's now trying to break back into the top 10. He's been out in front for a couple of laps here this evening, as well as Scar. Nice run there, kind of drifted up to the middle line. Looked like he's going to get a good run here off
Robbie's going to go up to the high side. He's going to be in front of Clemens here.
Tyler Malin trying to make his way back up into the top 10.
Zach Rogers got in that little bit of a skirmish earlier on, and you remember Furco being way at the back?
That's right, I was just going to bring him up. Yeah, he's the 3rd car on that outside line. Back in the conversation, there's Nelly back there. 5th car on the inside line. Saw him spun out in the infield grass on the back straightaway. Back, I think it was in the 2nd caution.
The one name that I'm really curious about here is this 93 of Jobin. Like, he's still back here in traffic, and you can't really do much when you're kind of like boxed in here, and he's got a wall to his right side. He doesn't want to drift up too much in case someone pushes up into him and puts a pancake on him in the wall, and you get my point. It's like, I don't know what to do here with him.
Near contact for the lead there between Scar and Causey. Yeah, to your point, there's a few drivers back there that we saw up at the front in the early going, and now they've kind of hung at the back. Oh, man! Big check up there with Aussie Bill and Andrew Miller. Miller up almost into the wall, saves it, but he's going to lose a ton of spots as a result. But he's going to go back with a couple of drivers I was going to mention. You talked about Ricky J, but you've also got Magoo back there in the 144. We haven't seen him up at the front in a while, and I also noticed that Greg Lovell is kind of mired back there as well in the 088. So
I'm wondering if Greg had any damage from earlier too.
Maybe.
Whoa, really loose up there. Brain fade. I saw him kind of get a little bit squirrely off of that corner.
Yeah, it's almost like the cars on the inside line there. They go from one extreme to the other. Tight off the corner, and then when they go to catch it, it gets loose.
But you notice most of them, they're like if you go back here where Magoo is and where Malin was, it's like they're drifting up, like they want to run that middle lane, and they're wondering, should I? They're like, no. Or, yeah, I'm going to the high side, but, whoa, hello, someone got loose behind Monty Keller.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Bob Sire going around back there. Oh, gosh, the 25 of Liam Tingley pounded the inside wall. I think that car was up and over.
No caution.
No caution. I'm looking up top of the screen. Pace car's lights are still off. That was a huge hit for
Lavelle
Tingley.
Just gave a huge shot to Jobin and going 3 wide off of 2. I'm surprised they made that work.
We're getting close to about 10 to go. If we get a caution, we're going to go back and see what happened here, because that definitely is replay worthy. But don't want to take the camera off of this battle up here at the front.
They're battling all over, especially back here at the back. They were 3 wide. Like I said, Greg went with Jobin, and Jobin's kind of stuck almost 3 wide back here right now.
DJ Champ looking to go coast to coast, pole to win. He's going to cross down in front of BSR Scar, and he'll get alongside of Kelly Causey for the race lead. This is interesting in the Kelly Causey thing because, you know, we see him in RTG, we've seen him in Talladega Nights. This is the first time I've ever seen him in an open setup league. I wonder what his history is of running an open setup races. Did he get a setup from somebody? Did he have one made? I don't know. That's interesting.
Nah, he didn't have one made. You know how he is. He can magically make things appear. He doesn't even gotta make it himself.
Well, he's
He's
looking
that
good
special.
right now. Out in front, he's led the
You're
last 9
forgetting.
laps.
You're forgetting who we're talking about.
That's true.
He's the peanut butter man.
He is.
He's the Wonder Man.
He's the Wonder Boy.
No, you don't
the
know. That does not sound right when you say Wonder Boy. He's the Wonder Man, basically Wonder Bread.
The Wonder Bread Man.
There you go. Or you could just call him the Peanut Butter Man. Or whatever.
I was gonna try.
He's Mr. Peanut Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter. Okay. I was trying to like figure out like something that I could do with like Jiffy, but
well, you could just say he's going to be up front in a GIF.
In a GIF. Yep. I think I said something like that in one of the RTG races, and Michael gave me a sigh.
Whoa! Someone hit the apron.
That's
again.
Lovell, right in front of Andrew Miller. He saves it. Oh man, look at this. 3 wide, 2 rows deep.
KJ, you need to go a little bit lower.
A lot of pinching.
No,
gosh. Lovell was on the apron again there through the tri-oval. KJ!
Oh god, that's not gonna be good.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Come on, KJ.
Right up in front of Brain Fade, and they save it. Aussie Bill into the right rear of Zach Rogers. He saves it.
Lovell got
there goes Brain Fade. Yep, caution's gonna come out. Good Pastor's involved. Lovell's gonna pound the inside wall. Comes back up and gets Brain Fade.
Shoot.
That's caution.
What happened on that, Seth? Lovell hit the apron. That apron kept getting him that whole lap.
I think he touched the apron 3 or 4 times that entire lap. He touched it over in 3. He was on the apron over in the tri-oval, and
he just barely got it right there and just pushed up and got Brain Fade.
Good Pastor in that one as well. I think the 49 and the 33 kind of had that kind of warp wreck where they morphed into each other, so that could mean more internal damage than anything.
Now this sets up the idea of what we were talking about with the grill tape. But if you remember, there's
another wreck under yellow. Oh gosh, that's Scar. I don't know if he locked it up or got help. He just hit the outside wall, and now he's got a left front down.
I think Scarborough was trying to slow up and then got really loose and just looped it.
They were all waiting for the pace car. I think maybe somebody slowed quicker up at the front and everybody else checked up.
Okay, but getting back to what we were getting at earlier, you said you wanted to go back and look at a
we're gonna look
wreck
at that
was
first.
replay worthy for you, and then to see what brought up this caution with Greg Lavelle.
Now, point worth making, both the drivers involved in the wreck that we're going to show you here that didn't bring out the yellow, Tingley and Sire, continued on and stayed on the lead lap. So they will be at least up in the lead group for this upcoming restart. But here's a look at what happened in the tri-oval. This was back on lap 64. Starts with the 27. Oh, he's going to get some help from behind from Greg Lovell. Gets loose, and then watch this hit by the 25 car. Right there, hits the 45-degree angle, up and over, and then straight back into the outside wall. That was huge impact for Tingley, and he kept going. That's the amazing thing. He kept going. He's still on the lead lap. Bob Sire also with a big hit. The back end of his car pushed in. We'll watch what he made contact with. I think it was the outside wall going into turn 1. Spin's already in progress. There's the hit, and then carrying still about 120 some odd miles per hour up the racetrack and into the outside wall. And you saw Liam Tingley shoot back from right to left there after his hit into the inside wall.
And an update real quick. Tingley, Brain Fade, Scarborough, and Good Pastor on pit road along with Aussie Bill. They came in, I'm guessing, to fix damage or quickly top off. Those are the only people that pit right now. Everyone else stayed out, and the race leader is still Kelly Causey.
Let's take a look and see what brought the yellow flag out. Now, we obviously documented that Lovell had been clipping the apron for the last lap and a half, but this was also just after Kilojoules had merged back onto the track up in turn 1. Don't know if that had anything to do with it there. Lovell maybe trying to give some room to Brain Fade, but he then comes up, clips the 49, and look at this hit. Oh, gosh, again, almost about the exact same point where, what was it, Eli, I think, hit it with the back end? Almost hit that opening.
Still a little bit of a distance between where he hit and Eli hit at.
And then watch what I was talking about, the kind of little bit of a warp wreck, if you will, with the 49 and the 33, how they kind of mesh together for a brief moment right there. Monty Keller got a little piece of it, but he kept going, so I think he's okay. But we are definitely going to get back green. Question is, how many laps? It'll be a handful.
But with people not coming in the pit, that's telling us that these guys up near the front are pretty sure that they can make it the rest of the way. But at the same time, they're not coming down to raise their grill tape.
That's right. That's
they
the
still
thing,
got a
right?
little bit.
What side do you want to be on? Do you want to be coming down, getting the grill tape for the shootout, or do you want to keep the track position and try and hold the higher grill tape cars off?
You're asking me my opinion on this right now. Okay, question. Am I up near the front or am I in mid-pack?
You're one of the guys that are staying out up in like the first 2 rows.
The first 2 rows?
Yep.
Staying out.
Okay.
Because my mind would be, okay, if I can make it on fuel, that's good. But if you raise that grill tape up to 60, 65 at this point in time, that, you know, we've seen 100 grill tape go in a lap or 2. We know that, you know, there's more than a few laps here. So, no, I'm not going to come in and raise my grill tape with this many laps to go, knowing that I might get a green flag finish. Now, if we get another caution, I think we're done. Don't you think?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think we're probably going to be going back green past the point of no return.
Oh, wait, Greg left, so Greg is done.
Yep. Update on drivers out of the race. Greg Lovell, the most recent retiree, so he'll finish 21st. Keith McLean, 22nd. Denny Carroll, 23rd. BSR Eli, 24th. And Brian Voiles, 25th. We're going to have 20 drivers, it looks like, all on the lead lap to finish this thing out. Jury's still out on how many laps we'll have left.
Seth?
Yep.
I'm going to aggravate you here.
Okay.
Jovan's back in 10th. KJ's in 9th. Rogers is up here in 7th. Mallon's in 5th. Matt Stearns finding himself in 4th. Burko's back up to 3rd. DJ's still hanging up here in the top 5 discussion like he has pretty much all night. And then you got Kelly Cossey, which we know his string of good runs over in RTG mainly. Right. And yeah, this is going to get pretty aggressive very quickly if they're going to have fun with this. Because honestly, I expect they're going to have fun.
Just out of curiosity, when I was looking back at the replay, did you happen to notice who the first car was that came out of pit road?
Aussie Bill.
Aussie Bill, okay, and he's restarting back in 15th. That's a long ways to go if you got that that higher grill tape. But we saw what DJ Champ was able to do, making moves by himself during the course of this race, so might work. You might even you know, I've seen before too, in some of the open setup races on JTN broadcasting here for BSR, a driver be able to pass 3 cars by himself because there's a difference in grill tape. So it's possible. We'll see, as it looks like it's going to be 4 laps to go when we go back green. So we are definitely going to be past the point of no return. Next flag will end up ending the race.
So with New Year being here, it's also a new year for FRN, Flatout Racing. And you want to tell them what we got coming up?
We definitely, yeah. We got 2024 started off here tonight, and we kick off season 61 of the RTG Talladega Challenge this Thursday night. Aero 88 cars, that's going to be interesting. Been told that they're good in terms of drafting, in terms of bumping. They're going to get put to the test at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday night to kick off the season. Jess, you're going to be behind the wheel of one of those things. What's the anticipation, nervousness there in terms of the new car for the series?
Well, I expect it's going to be a little bit more suck up and a little bit less of it's going to be more hectic. I'm just going to put it that way. I think we're going to be all over the place, but it's going to be more fun, more anticipation, trying to figure out who you can work with, new people to work with. And, you know, I had a really good season, even though I finished like, 12th in points or something. But I was really happy with that. I made the playoffs, but a couple bad looks. But, you know, I was happy with my season last season. So I'm looking forward to it, see what this season holds. And I will be there if I don't have to kill myself and work over, put it that way. But, yeah. I hope to be there, and I'll be there tomorrow night, I hope, if I don't have to work over either. But, yeah, I mean, But one thing at a time, we got to get this one out of the way first before we can move on to the next.
Yes, we do. I'm going to give the usual disclaimer here as well. If a caution comes out, we're staying up at the front. We'll look at any replays if necessary under the pacing laps prior to the checkers or post-race. But if we end up having a caution, we will stay up here at the front and watch the race back to the line, because when the flag comes out, whether it be the yellow flag or the white flag, the first car back to the start-finish line will be the winner of the 8th annual BSR Hangover 200. It's Kelly Causey trying to hold off DJ Champ Ryan Furco here. The green flag back in the air.
And look at them all scattered back here around KJ.
3 wide back there. Those drivers realizing they don't have a lot of time.
Matt Stern's making a move on first
How about
right
that?
away. He's gone.
Matt Stern brought out the caution prior to the last one, and he's now up here battling inside the podium. Tyler Mallon right there with him. Oh, Mallon's going to get hooked into the wall. They save it. We're still green. They almost wrecked at the back, too, with Aussie Bill. Somehow, no caution. We're still going.
Is the anticipation here yet, or are we just waiting?
I think the aggressive level, I think the knob just got turned up to 11.
Mallon closes the door on KJ real quick.
Someone way up the track back there. I think that might have been Furco in the 19. So he's exiting out of the picture. Top 2 get themselves clear. Side by side, almost door banging. I think they made a little contact there. Matt Stern and Nelly.
KJ's getting really aggressive. Aussie just made a huge jump to that inside line away from KJ. They're really going now, Seth. This is go time.
Big run there from Nisus. He thought about making it 3 wide. Now he's side by side for 4th with Stern. Rogers right there. Got a duo working together, a tandem. Ricky J and Andrew Miller up there on the outside line, but up front, Causey trying to make the back bumper of that Chevy SS as wide as he can.
Mallon to the inside of Rogers. He's getting a run coming on now. He's got the draft from Matt Stern. Now the question here, Seth, is when do you want to make your move if you're up near the front with Kelly Causey?
And the question also is for DJ Champ, can he make the move by himself, or would he need an assistance? If he does try and make a move on Causey, does Nelly go with him, or does he stick with the 00?
Magoo right behind KJ.
Nisus for the lead, maybe. Gets a run there. A little bit of a bubble push from Matt Stern. He'll get alongside a fellow Dodge DJ Champ for 2nd down the back straightaway.
Mallon moves up to the high side, getting in line. Magoo going with KJ on
blocking
the
back there for 9th. Every spot matters. It's an exhibition race.
And you know what's going to happen? They're going to bump in these corners going because it's all out. It's time to go. And like we said, there's no points on the line. This is all a fun, friendly little exhibition. So I expect it to be all full throttle here in a minute.
Yeah, they almost did bump right there for 2nd and 3rd.
Whoa.
The 91 and the 103. They're going to get back to the white, though. They're going to make it back. 2.66 miles to settle it out.
You see that machine in the middle over here right underneath Jobin? Oh, my
gosh.
there
goes Kilojoules into the wall. Doesn't matter. We're still racing back.
Out. We'll get back to that after the race is over.
Yellow flag out, but we're still racing back to the checkers. Champ crosses to the bottom on Causey. He's got Miller to help. Here comes Nelly to help Causey on the top. Causey's not clear down, though. Stays in the middle. Mallon trying to make something happen there. 3rd on the outside line. No help on the inside for the 91. Causey's got them stacked double wide, heading to the tri-oval. Through the tri-oval. Oh, Nelly trying to go down low in front of the 91. Not going to get there. Kelly Causey by about half a car length's going to win the 8th annual BSR Hangover 200. And I think some drivers might have a hangover, maybe a concussion from the hits I just saw there at the start-finish line.
Wow, how about that, Seth?
Causey leads a race-high 21 laps, and he's going to pick up the victory here tonight. By the way, folks, I got a message from this guy a couple of days ago asking how to join this race. So I'm taking a little bit of credit for his win. He did. He did.
Oh my God.
He saw this race scheduled, asked me how to be able to join, and I pointed him in the right direction, so I'm taking a little bit of credit for this victory here. Little bit.
Wow.
Top 3, BSR Nelly, Tyler Mallon. Wow, what a race. Hey, credit to these guys. I mean, there were about maybe 3 or 4 points there after that restart that we could have had this race end under
Look.
yellow, and they made it back to the white.
I want you to do yourself a favor. Look at the interval from, Kelly Causey all the way back to Scar.
Yeah. You got about
wow. 0.7.
0.7. Yep. It was 43 1,000ths of a second for the win, for those wondering, between Causey and Nelly. And Kelly Causey, buckshot, gonna burn it down here at Talladega, the winner of the 8th annual BSR Hangover 200. We'll be talking with him as well as Nelly and Malin in just a few moments.
So I'm trying to figure this out in my mind here. Do I just tell him, congratulations, I hope you're going to be doing good for RTG now because this puts you on a good run already with the momentum? Or should I just tell him, stay over here, let us race over there?
He's got 2024 off to a good start. Maybe he wants to keep the 100% winning percentage.
Don't forget. Jeremy did that last year. Remember how he started off the end of the year with a win? He started off the year with a win, and then look at what happened at the end of the year. He won 2 championships, didn't he? No. Tell Kelly to stay here.
Oh man, how about some of these other finishers here tonight? Andrew Miller. He was very consistent tonight, kept his car out of trouble, brings it home in 4th. DJ Champ, after starting on the pole position, he brings it home in 5th. Ricky J in 6th. Aussie Bill with conversation all night long in 7th. Great run tonight for the Bandit Robbie Nisus in 8th. Matt Stern and Zach Rogers both involved in wrecks. They made comeback runs inside the top 10 in 9th and 10th. No, the series is not rigged. I know that they started one behind the other and they finished one behind the other, but that's the way it be. Magoo brings it home in 11th. Monty Keller in 12th. Scarborough in 13th. Furco 14th. And Joshua Clemens completed the top 15. Jeff Goodpaster was 16th. Brain Fade in 17th. Bob Sire in 18th. And then Liam Tingley and Kilojoules brought it home on the lead lap, completing the top 20. They were the drivers to reach the conclusion. Greg Lovell, Keith McLean, Denny Carroll, BSR Eli, and Brian Voiles all retired out of the race. Only 6 cautions here tonight for 24 laps, and in between those cautions, some really good racing, including that shootout to the finish. Congratulations to Kelly Causey on the victory here tonight.
Are we going to go back and look at the incident that happened that caused all that stuff, or are we just going to not worry about that?
No, actually, we'll take a look at that here. We said we would. I believe it was... I know Kilojoules was involved.
KJ's the one that we saw that got out of line first, remember?
Yep.
Up there.
Don't remember if it was his incident that brought out the yellow, though. I think it might have been.
They made it to the white flag, so...
Yep, it was his incident here. It's like he might have had a little contact with Matt Stern.
It looked like KJ got a little bit low and Matt Stern, when you race that tight regarding the end of the race, pinching, I mean, you got to do something like that in order to make progress. And it's just fun racing.
SpongeBob wasn't being very generous with room there in the closing stages of this race. There were
basically, he said, if nautical nonsense be something you wish.
Pretty much. Or if room be something you wish. So that ended up bringing out
you're going to get wrecked, then we're going to get wrecked, and we're going to flop around the track like fish.
And I think that was the only thing that happened on that final run. We had obviously an incident come into the checkered flag, but that didn't change a whole lot of the finishing results. I think they wrecked after the start-finish line. So that is what ended the race under yellow. But again, fortunately, it happened after we had taken the white flag. So we were able to race back to the checkers. We'll head now into our...
I'm not gonna lie, that was fun.
That was a really good race. That was a lot of fun to watch. And that open setup factor definitely makes things a little bit different. You saw a little bit different handling of each specific race car, what capabilities there were, being able to make moves, and made things interesting there in the closing stages.
So we're gonna interview 4 people, 3 people, 5 people. What's the role on this one?
We got our top 3 that we're gonna be talking with here. So
start with Malin.
We're gonna start with our 3rd place finisher. Let's see if we can dial up Tyler Mellon, the
Buddy
driver of
was
the number
moved to
18.
your
Tyler,
channel.
Justin, Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got us?
I gotcha.
Wild race here tonight. Exhibition race, so obviously an opportunity to get 2024 started out with a W. Your car was flying through the field there in these closing stages. Did you need another lap there? Was there something else you could have done to be able to have this 18 out in clean air back to the start-finish line first? What little more do you need?
I just needed some support. 18 interstate batteries Camry was flying, like you said, all night. Felt like I could make moves when I wanted to, and it would stick, and I could keep the run going. I just had a little contact with the 19. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was my fault or not. If it was, I apologize. Sent us back to like 10th with 3 to go there. So I'm just honestly, I'm amazed I was able to get back up to where I did. So
Hey, Tyler, really, really good comeback there for you to come up to third. But I mentioned it to Seth. We were sitting here watching this early on, and we were both kind of baffled. You were at the back. You pulled over, let some people go, and you just stayed at the back for like over 50% of this race, and trying to figure out. I know there was a little bit of a contact on pit road at one point, and what was the was it just you trying to be cautious, staying in the back, letting everything unfold in front of you, or was it just not handling right for you, or how was that going with you?
I was just kind of hanging
your channel.
in the back. Oh, hey, KJ. I was just kind of hanging in the back all race, waiting for things to unfold. Like you said, once we got to about 20, I think 20 to go was the first lap I ran in the top 5, and it was under caution. And then I went back to 20th again and had to come all the way back up from the back.
I mean, that was just shocking to see you back there, no offense. It just seemed really odd. It was like, surprise, I'm here.
Just didn't want to get involved in anything, and we did have that pit road mishap early in the race. I have to go back and watch that. I don't even know what happened, but I think like 7 or 8 cars got wrecked, and we didn't get a caution on that green flag pit stop. So that was pretty surprising. But yeah, just had a great car. It's fun working with people all night, and looking forward to coming back here on Thursday. Well, not here. We're going to Daytona on Thursday, but looking forward to getting the season started.
Yeah, we talked about, beginning of the show, coming into this season, the defending champion of the Cup Series. Congratulations on that, by the way. But,
Thank you.
obviously here tonight, Super Speedway, going to be some Super Speedways on the Cup schedule here in 2024. How much testing, experimentation took place here tonight in the attempt to defend that championship?
Well, we really focused on 1 or 2 tracks over the off season, mainly Charlotte, because I had a great car in the spring last season, and then I ruined my setup. It's about midway through the season, and kind of sucked in the fall race there, but got that all fixed. Looking forward to Charlotte, and looking forward to Rockingham definitely as well. That's back on the schedule for the first time in a couple of years. So it's always been a fun track to drive.
Well, best of luck on your 2024 campaign, coming in as the defending champion. Congratulations on your great run tonight, podium in the Hangover 200. Before we let you go, though, we'll give it the opportunity to do thank yous and shout outs.
Well, thanks to you guys for broadcasting tonight. I think this is the first time I've seen you guys broadcast a Bomb Squad race, so I'm gonna make sure go back and watch it and get yeah. I suck at these. Thank you to Brian and Kathy Boyles for sponsoring the series. Thanks to Magoo for letting me race here and putting on the show every week. Thanks to everyone really for letting me race here, and everyone for being such a great group of guys to race with. KJ here for being awesome to hang out with in a voice chat. He's just kind of sitting there silently. Hey KJ, you there? He's not going to say anything.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening to you.
He's just sitting there menacingly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, not going to lie.
It's also a SpongeBob race too. Good job.
That's why I did it.
But yeah, Tyler, I do have one after question before Seth lets you wrap it up real quick. You and I have raced in some open setups together as well. Out of curiosity, and I don't know if this gives it away for any of your anyone else specifically, your grill tip, did you touch it at all throughout this race, or did you leave it where it was the whole race?
I left it exactly where it was the entire race.
User left your channel.
Okay, yeah, because we were kind of wondering, like, late race, if some drivers are going to be adjusting the grill tape. Been a while since we've done an open setup broadcast, so we had to kind of familiarize ourselves back with all those different factors.
I think a few people did tape up their cars. I know Zach was considering it because he had a bit of damage and wasn't able to suck up to the car
User
in front
joined
very
your
well. So
channel.
he was considering coming in with about 4 or 5 to go. I'm not sure if he did, to be honest. So
Well, a great way to start off 2024 for you, Tyler. Podium finish here tonight in this exhibition, Hangover 200. Congratulations on the great run, and again, best of luck in your 2024 campaign to try and be a back-to-back champion in the BSR Cup Series.
thank you very much.
See if we can now
Buddy was
dial up
moved
the
out of
driver
your
that brings
channel.
it home. Second place, that is
User was
BSR
moved to your
Nelly.
channel.
Nelly, it's Justin Seth up here in the FRN booth. You got us?
Yep, I got you.
I'll tell you what, it kind of seemed like for about half the field tonight, the motto was never give up. A lot of drivers had pit road issues, caught cautions, got waiver rounds and lucky dogs to get back in the lead lap. Other drivers like yourself got caught up in some late race incidents second half of this race, but able to battle back for second place. Uh, at any point you think, I'm out of this thing, I'm not going to have a shot at this victory, or did you keep the mentality and that's what helped you be able to almost be able to get that checkered flag tonight?
Oh, the first round of green flag pit stops, I thought I was out. Got involved with something. Somebody lost it, and then he bumped me, and had to go around the track or again to pit. But caution came out and got all caught back up.
BSR Nelly, you did a really good job finishing second, so congratulations on that. I am curious. You sat there very beginning. You were pretty much all through the field, back and forth. How does that feel in your mind, like when you're racing? How much of a toll does that take on you, knowing that, hey, I think I'm out of it? Do you feel like just saying, oh, well, screw it, I'll just stay back here? Or, I mean, this is an exhibition. Did you really wanted to shoot for that win, even though you thought you were out of it no matter what? You were just not going to give up? Or were you just,
Yeah,
how does that go with you?
just hope a caution comes out. I had a couple of guys that we're running with, so that makes a big difference instead of running by yourself. Yeah, you don't give up.
No panic button, right?
Nope.
No. Go ahead, Seth.
Is there a mentality difference when heading into an exhibition race like this, knowing that there's no pressure of points, no pressure of a championship hanging in the balance, as opposed to a regular points race? Or do you, as a driver, still kind of feel that same pressure? Because, I mean, obviously, you're out there racing double wide, 3 wide, it's super speedway racing. Is there any difference in terms of the pressure that you feel in an exhibition race?
No, they feel the same. I don't care about the points anyway. Just come out to have fun and race. That's all it's about.
Well, race tonight, you definitely did.
I
Great comeback
got-
run there. Oh, go ahead. You got another
I
question?
got one question,
go ahead, yeah.
Nelly. Nelly, I got one
Yep.
question. Do we know, and I know this isn't about you, I'm sorry, but do we know what happened to Brian? Did he just lose internet connection, or
Yeah,
do we
as
know?
far as we know, that's all that happened to him.
Okay. Because, yeah, we were curious about that. We didn't know if an engine expired or what exactly happened there with him.
Yeah, he fell out, and usually they come right back in, but he never did.
Okay.
Still ain't back on.
All right. Appreciate you clearing that up for us. But, Matt, great run for you here tonight. Good comeback run there with about 20 laps left after that wreck to bring it home in second place. Almost getting that checkered flag for the start of 2024. But second place, great start to the year for you, and maybe some good momentum in the start of the upcoming Cup Series as well. Nelly, before we let you go, we're going to give the opportunity to do some sponsor shout-outs and do some thank yous.
I want to thank Brian and Kathy for putting this on first, and thank you guys for coming out and doing it, and thanking the other racers we have, everybody watching. Thank my sponsor, the Medicine Chest. thank Magoo for starting all this BSR league.
Well, BSR and Nelly, your runner-up finisher here tonight in the Hangover 200. Congratulations on the great run here tonight, Nelly. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, let's go down
User
to
was moved
I
to
victory
want
your
first
lane.
dibs with
channel.
him.
All right,
I'm
go
gonna
right
yell at him.
ahead. Let's see if we can dial up the driver of the double
User
zero,
was
Kelly
moved to
Causey.
your
Kelly, it's
channel.
Jess and Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got us?
User left your channel.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, Kelly. I'm gonna say the same thing I said to Seth, and I want you to give me a straight, honest answer. You won over here. Congratulations about that, by the way. But can you please just stay over here and not come back to RTG? Because now that you're winning over here, we don't need you to win everything over there now. Because we saw what happened with Jeremy last year, right?
Yeah, well, I struggled this year over there, but it was a lot of fun here tonight. I enjoyed working with these guys, man. They were really good racers, no doubt.
Well, I mean, the point I was getting
User
at, Kelly,
joined your
was
channel.
that good luck shoe kicked in for Jeremy. He won back-to-back championships over there, and he won the final race, and he won another race, and you get the point. Do you think this win right here builds up any momentum going over anywhere else, especially not just here, but anywhere entirely?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get one of these big races like this, it's nice, and I definitely need it. It's been a while since I've won one, so I was pleased with being able to come over here. I know Seth is the one that got me kind of involved in this race, to
I'm
be
taking
honest with you.
partial credit for your win, by the way.
All right, yeah, well, that's right. I mean, I wouldn't be here if you wouldn't have told me where to go for sure. So, but I saw it on Facebook and said, man, I'd really like to get in that, and got it worked out. So
Hey,
it was a
wake
really
up.
good group of drivers. It was a fun race. This is my first race with an open setup. Got in here early, and there was one of the guys really helped me out, put me in a setup that I could run. I really struggled on the bottom, and it was terrible at pitting under green, as you saw. But anyway, got fortunate they had yellows, and it worked out to where I could just get out there and race.
A bit of an enigma here tonight because we're used to seeing you race in RTG, over in Talladega Nights. Those are series that have fixed setup. We've never seen you in an open setup race, and you pick up the checkered flag here tonight. Is there a prior history you have with open setup races?
No, this is my first one, but it was a challenge. But I enjoyed the challenge. I said, well, let me see if I can. I told the guy that put me in. I wish I could remember his name. Put me in the setup, and I went out there and ran laps and just got used to it. It's just a different driving style, to be honest with you, and I got used to it. I really struggled whenever I went on the bottom, so that's why you saw me stay in that second line a good bit or higher.
Kelly, out of curiosity, the format, normally we run CTS physics based on everything we do for RTG and what you guys sometimes run over at Dega Nights. Do you prefer the cup physics over the CTS physics more, or which way do you lean?
They're both about the same, I guess. I don't. It doesn't make a difference to me. Put me in something, let me figure out how to drive it. So how I feel about it.
Well, Kelly, great run for you here tonight. I'm being told that I'm only getting about maybe a quarter of credit of your win. Apparently, KJ's getting another quarter, and you're getting 50% because apparently he called that you were going to win or something. I don't know how I feel about sharing that, but that's
Well, he waited till late. I was up there at the front, so
uh,
he didn't call it when I was in the back.
okay,
But
all
yeah,
right,
he did.
all right.
He did.
He's
He
not
did.
getting 25%. I'll give him maybe like
No,
10%
no,
or
no, no,
something.
no, no, Kelly,
Yeah, that's
Kelly,
right.
you don't
Yeah.
give Seth anything because Seth botched the back of your car so hard.
I did. I couldn't read the Def Leppard font. I didn't have a clue what it said at first.
You didn't know what the most famous words from Def Leppard are?
Well, I know
I
what
had to
they
correct
are,
him.
but I can barely read letters, let alone Def Leppard fonts. So
You're talking about a guy who takes
wake up.
selfies and he doesn't wear glasses in the selfies. There you go.
I did this car a long time ago over at Open Speedway, and it's one of my favorites. Big Def Leppard fan.
Well, Kelly, a great run for you here tonight. Led 20 laps en route to the checkered flag. Congratulations. Great way to start off the year of 2024 for you. But before we let you get back to your celebrating, though, we're going to hand the Victory Lane microphone over to you for some thank you sponsors and shoutouts.
Well, I'd just like to thank these guys for having me over and for you guys doing such a great job. There at the end, Nelly gave me that push on the backstretch, and I appreciate him kind of sticking with me. There was some guys that did, but I really enjoyed it. I plan on maybe racing over here a little bit more, and they was a really good group of guys, and hopefully we'll get back out on the track with these guys.
Real quick, I do want to ask you one little question, Kelly, about what you prefer, because Seth and I, we were putting it on you. Jiff Man in a Jiff Man, Peanut Butter Boy, Peanut Butter Man,
Wonder Bread,
Seth,
Wonder Bread Man.
no. You said Wonder Boy.
I did.
So yeah.
But I think Jeff Gordon took
What are you
that
going
already.
with, Kelly? What do you want to be known as now that we're having fun with these little puns from your RTG schemes?
I guess the Jiff Man, the backstory behind that is the fact that when I was growing up, my dad used to send me to the grocery store, and he was a big peanut butter eater, and he would always say, "Get 2 loaves if it's fresh." So on the back, that's what it says. And but now it wasn't peanut butter and jelly; we just peanut butter straight on bread. So I guess the Jiff Man.
The Jiff Man. All right, I'm gonna have to remember that one. So Kelly, the Jiff Man Causey, your winner here tonight at the Hangover 200 at Talladega Super Speedway. Congratulations on the job well done. Go and enjoy that win there, Kelly, and we'll see you Thursday night. See if you can double down here this week.
Thank you, guys. I hope so. We'll see.
Kelly Causey, your winner here tonight, the 8th annual
User was
BSR
moved out of your channel.
Hangover 200, and what a race it was. A lot of twists and turns. We already knew there were going to be a lot of question marks coming tonight. We were trying to get used to the throwback with the older mod. We were trying to get used to the open setup strategy again. And then you ended up having the long green flag run. You had the green flag pit stops. You had the untimely yellow. Everybody trying to get back on the lead lap. And then the shootout at the end. A lot of twists and turns, and it was a lot of fun to kind of watch it all unfold here today, Jess.
That is an understatement. It was a lot more than what we actually had at that point. It was incredible. Every single race I'm in, I always see how things unfold, and some of them I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened. But when you step back and you watch a broadcast, or you're part of a broadcast without racing, you get to see the whole picture of everyone race, and you get to think about, wow, if that was me down there, what would I do? But then again, you're watching do. It's like you're trying to formulate strategies in your own mind about what you would be doing, but you're just in awe and shock about what they're doing up at the front of the field, how they're able to stay there. You're like, there's no way I could have done that. How are they doing that? And then you get them racing as aggressive as they are. Yes, there's contact, but the one thing that we've always noticed about every league we broadcast in, whether it's a special event or an actual league race itself, Seth, is you get a good group of people, good friends. They just hang out and they just shoot the bull, and that's what you got to have. You got to have a good community, good people around you, and that causes everything to go a lot more smoother and have more fun than being mad at someone.
Yeah, I mean, safe to say we're just as much fans up here in the booth as we are commentators, spectators, just as entertained with what we're seeing as everybody that watches these broadcasts. I think we've got a question by KJ. He's sitting over there in the corner of our booth. I'm not exactly sure how he got in.
He's pretending to be a banana.
Oh, okay. KJ, you have a question?
Not really, but
Oh.
I figured that would get your attention.
So, it definitely got my attention.
I just want to say thank you, Seth and Jessica here in the booth for broadcasting tonight. For everybody here in Bomb Squad Racing, I appreciate y'all jumping in here at the last minute and broadcast tonight's Hangover. 200?
Yep.
Good race. Yep. Good win to Kelly. Good race, everybody. And I didn't think you would see it, so appreciate y'all doing tonight.
Well, I'm surprised you showed up. You were at the last second coming in, KJ. We didn't know what happened.
I've been here. I've been listening, but no.
No. We were talking about earlier on, right before we went to queue. It was like you just randomly showed in. It was like, there he is. We loved your car, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jess said before we even came on there, she's like, we got to point out that car.
I know Jess loves me, and no, I don't want to take
why? No.
Kelly,
Why?
Kelly, what?
Why is it? Because I was the only person who originally used to work with you for plate tracks.
possibility, but at the sake of the win, no. But yeah, I love everybody here that raced tonight. I love the Hangover 200. I love Bomb Squad Racing. If they weren't here, I would not be racing anymore. I appreciate you guys jumping in here at the last second. And good win to Kelly. Kelly, Buckshot, good car tonight. I don't want to take away from him, so good win.
Absolutely. Well, happy to do it here tonight. Thank you for treating us to such a great show. I appreciate everybody that tuned into our coverage here tonight as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Obviously, a little bit late, but Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody has a great 2024. And as we say, we got some more races coming up here this week. Thursday night, we got the Rolling Thunder Gaming. Their 61st season kicks off for the Talladega Challenge. And also this Saturday night, we've got, I believe it is the 8th race. I'm going to have to double check, but I believe it's the 8th race, the regular season finale for the Talladega Night Shake and Bake series. So got some more super speedway racing on the horizon here in the first week of 2024.
Just throwing it out there real quick. Are you not going to stream tomorrow night? Are you not racing tomorrow night?
I don't think so.
Oh, you are so evil.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to have your help. Are you kidding me?
Disney Speedstorm calls.
Wow, that's rude.
But thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and we will see you guys this coming Thursday night for the first race of the Rolling Thunder Gaming Talladega Challenge new season. Until then, though, for Jessica Shelton, I'm Seth Cole. KJ's still over there in the corner. We're going to give him a peanut butter sandwich here, courtesy of Kelly Causey, in just a moment. Your winner here tonight, the Jiff Man in the BSR Hangover 200. Have a great night, everybody. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of FRN, the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.